Okay, kangaroo, I expect to see you very soon because you're so fluffy. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my weekly vlog for March the 18th, vlog number 355, and this is Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and I'm Steven. And that's a totally different opening than I was intending for, but whatever. Variety is the spice of life. And speaking of which, yes, in about 6 days, we're getting onto a flight and off to the land down under to Australia. And you've heard us talking about this a lot, and because we're excited. And now that we're getting closer to the time for it, I'm getting a little anxious as well. You know, flight, getting there, all that kind of stuff. But it'll all be good. It'll all be good. So this is going to be my last official vlog. Notice I said the word official vlog for a while. Because after this coming weekend, well, who knows what's going to happen. I am going to try to post on a regular basis, possibly every day as shorts on YouTube. But we are going to attempt some lives as well. Here's the trick. We don't know what our technology is going to be like. We have some plans in place for getting the most we can in terms of technology while we're in Australia. We do know where we're going to be pretty much each day. Walter has the itinerary all worked out, that kind of thing. But of course, you know, there's a difference in time, a large difference in time. So basically, we'll be coming to you, those of you that are in the Eastern time zone, while even in the Western time zone of North America, we'll be coming to you in any of our videos from the future. Isn't that spooky? Yeah. But anyways, the best thing you can do if you want to keep up with us during our trip to Australia is to just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you've got the notifications bell turned on for all notifications. That way you'll be able to see what we see. Enjoy Australia vicariously through us. So let's come back down to earth right now and let's take a look at my current projects. This one you've seen in various stages. It is now completely done, and I can't remember if I showed it to you completely done or not, and if I did, I apologize for that. This is the Tartan Star by Art East Quilt Company. They're a Canadian company, and you know they're famous for many of their character-like quilts. I have done Cat Scratch back some time ago. They're also famous for the fact that all of their quilts take little bitty pieces. And this one was no exception to that. And do I think I'm going to do another Art East quilt? Well, I do have another pattern, one for blowing up bunnies, which is really cute. And if I get ambitious sometime this year, maybe I will work on that one. But I don't have any plans to buy any more of their patterns. Not because I dislike them. No, I really like them. The patterns are very detailed to follow, but the problem is the little bitty pieces. A lot of cutting, and I just don't like working with really small, like 1-inch squares, 1.5-inch squares, and things like that. That's why I bought this quilt pattern, because I thought, oh, it's just basically one block. Yeah, but that block is a lot of little pieces. And this one has little pieces because there's something very unique if you look at it closely. The star points look like they're going over top of the sashing pieces, which is kind of cool. But the only way you can achieve that is to do little pieces. So yeah, so if you like doing little pieces, you'll love Art East quilt patterns because, as I said, they're well written. They're just, for me, they're a little tedious. End result is really cool, but a little tedious. Okay, so I started another project and I finished it actually during the pop-up sew day. And this was sort of a palette cleanser after Tartan Stars. And it's done with just jelly roll strips. Just, you know, if you've got a bunch of 2.5-inch strips laying around, don't know what to do with them, this is a great scrap buster for that. It is a free pattern from Donna Jordan, from Jordan Fabrics. I think I have the link for it. I don't think I have the link for it in the show notes below, but it's easy to find. Just go to Jordan Fabrics, click on the menu item called Free Patterns, and scroll down and you'll find it, and it's called Diamond Trip. Now, I took some liberty with this pattern. The diamonds that you see are white here, but on Donna's original pattern, they are black. I just thought with the colors that I had in this jelly roll that black diamonds would kind of disappear. I wanted them to pop. So I made them white, and I added the inner and the outer borders to it. It didn't call for that in the pattern, but I've got a thing about borders. I think a quilt looks kind of unfinished if you don't have borders. So I added those as well. So it's laying on top of Lucy right now, ready to be quilted. Don't think I'll get to it until I get back home from Australia. Do I have anything else to show you there? No, not yet. Not that. I don't want to show you that yet. Okay, so come back to me. So that's what I've been working on, and I've started another project as well, and you can see it just behind the windmills there. That's the Progressive Pride flag. Russ of Quilt Meets World got me onto this one. He bought a kit for this at QuiltCon, and I thought it was a really cool pattern. A lot of half square triangles, but I am no stranger to half square triangles, as you probably know. I mean, my first quilt that I designed, it's mostly half square triangles. Mostly, it's all half square triangles. So yeah, I'm pretty much feel I'm very confident in putting half square triangles together. So this one is the Progressive Pride flag, and I think it's going to be really cool, and I'm hoping to get it done before we get into Pride Month in June. Of course, everything goes on hold when we go to Australia, of course, when it comes to working on anything. Can't take my sewing machine with me. If I could, I would. Okay, so those are my projects, and that takes me to YouTube channel of the week. This one is nuts. This is nuts. Did you know that we are not just Canada, but we are the Kingdom of Canada? And did you know that we have a Queen of Canada, exclusively of just Canada? Now, we do have a queen. Well, we did have a queen, Queen Elizabeth. She's passed away. We now have a king, King Charles. That's the official stuff, but we are not a kingdom. We are a country, just like everybody else. However, there is this crazy nutsy lady from the Philippines who lives here in Canada and who's decided that she is now the Queen of Canada, and that we are no longer going to have to pay taxes or pay for hydro or pay for water or pay our mortgages or pay our credit card bills or pay anything. Everything in Canada is going to be free. And you can join her little group and give her all your money. Yeah, it's a cult. Yeah, of course it's a cult, but it's a nutty, nutty cult. And we don't usually have cults in Canada. But this woman is causing a lot of trouble, especially for the town she is occupying in Saskatchewan right now. So there was a news program that did a whole thing about her. And you can watch this if you're interested on YouTube. But here's my review of that video. This week's YouTube video is an excerpt from the official W5 channel. W5 is a program that's been running for years in Canada on the CTV network, and it is basically a news magazine type program. And this past week, I saw this particular video about the Queen of Canada. Well, yeah, we don't have a queen, we have a king now, but she is the unofficial Queen of Canada, the Kingdom of Canada. Okay, she's a nut job, all right? She is a cult leader, and this whole investigation is about what she has been doing in a small town in Saskatchewan, where she basically has caused an awful lot of problems and controversy. This woman is nuts. But as you see this particular video, you find out that she's in an environment that, well, it suits a crazy person to be there. And maybe she isn't that crazy. It's maybe the people who follow her that are crazy because they're giving her lots and lots of money. And she's talking about getting rid of government, ignoring paying your taxes, and all kinds of things like this. It just, in this video, it just really reveals that Yes, there are crazy people in the world, but unfortunately, these crazy people are feeding on even crazier people. So, this is a really interesting video done by a very reliable source for information. So, you might want to check out the bizarre world of Queen of Canada, Romana DIDULO. So, the link for the interview or the documentary on the Queen of Canada, the Kingdom of Canada, is in the show notes below. There is also a link for this week's Sew with Stephanie and Stephen, as usual, Wednesday, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time and running till 4 p.m. All are welcome. As we said, and we've had a few new people pop in as well, and it's always great to have some new faces as well as the regulars on there. This will be the last one that I will be participating in for a few weeks. So, later this week, I will send out on my mailing list, and I know not everybody on my mailing list is interested or can attend a Sew with Stephanie and Stephen, but it's the only mailing list I've got, and I want to send out the link that Stephanie has created that will be used during the 3 weeks that I am away. So there won't. So the link that's in the show notes today is for this Wednesday and for this Wednesday only. When I get back, we'll get back to the regular links for it. But next week, the 27th, go to Stephanie's channel, Stephanie Stitches, links in the show notes. And I also have the link. No, I do not have the link in my show notes for that. No, I didn't want to confuse you with it. But Stephanie will have the link in her community tab. So go to her main page of her YouTube channel and look up at the top and you'll see a button that says community. Click on that and you will find the link for next week and the next 2 weeks after that for Sewing with Stephanie, because Stephen won't be there. Now, having said that I won't be there, I might make a candid appearance. It all depends again on technology, the timing, the whole bit. So don't be surprised. I might rear my ugly head during Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen while I'm away, but I won't be there long. Okay? And I have nothing to sew because I don't have a sewing machine. Okay. And at 9 o'clock this morning, this is before 9 o'clock when I'm recording this, so after you see this, or at 9 o'clock, whatever comes first, a.m., Monday, March the 18th, Eastern Time, I have a video that will go live, well, live as in it'll be published. I'm not live in the video, where I'm talking all about everything you need to know about the spring retreat, the Idiot Quilter Spring Retreat, which takes place on May the 4th. So everything you want to know will be in that video, and everything that I talk about in that video is copied into the show notes for that video. So, you know, if you want to have a hard copy of the information, you can just copy and paste that information from the show notes into your word processor or whatever. So that comes out this morning, or gets posted at 9 a.m. today. Okay, there's links as always for all my friends' YouTube channels. And let me flip my page over. And you will find some other links there. You'll find links to the past week's videos as well. Okay, so if I can get my screen up here for you, we're going to check the weather, not just here, but of course, we're going to check the weather in Australia as well. And so here it is. So it is still, well, it's not warm, it's not cold, it's -2 currently here in Ontario, Canada, where I live. But it's supposed to go to a high of 3, which is not that warm. And looking down the whole week's a little frosty until next Monday. And then it's going up to 8, and then next Tuesday up to 10. Of course, it's going to get warmer when we're going away. I'm most interested in what they're predicting for this coming Sunday, because that's when I fly out. And it looks like the high is just at freezing, and it looks like it's partially sunny. Well, I don't see any precipitation. That's the word I really want. Precipitation in that forecast, and I hope it stays that way. No snow, no rain, please. Let it be a nice day. I don't care if it's a little on the cold side, just as long as there's nothing there to delay our flight. And in fact, the whole week, well, with the exception of tomorrow, 35% chance of snow. And Wednesday's windy, but hopefully it'll be clear flying come next Sunday when we fly out. Now, that was here, but we're headed towards Sydney on, well, we don't get to Sunday until Tuesday. Yeah, you're going to go, but wait, you're leaving on Sunday, and yeah, it is a long flight, but why are you saying you arrive Tuesday? Well, actually, it's because we cross the international date line and we lose a day. We leave on a Sunday, we arrive on a Tuesday, Monday just disappears. There is no Monday for us. It's time travel. Yeah. So when we get there, well, right now, if it was today, it looks like their high is 21. No, their high is 25, and currently it is 21 degrees there. Well, the high is actually for, okay, I'm not even going to try to figure this out because it's 10:47 p.m. in Sydney right now. So it's still today, Monday. So the high for them today was 25. It's already come and gone. So it's 21 there. Are we confused? Yes, we are. In Brisbane, where we're headed to next after Sydney, looks like right now it's 23 degrees and it's nighttime there, of course. And the high was 28. So, yeah, actually, those seemed like very comfortable temperatures to me. Now, we're entering spring here in North America. They're entering fall. But their fall and their winter is not like our falls and winters in the part of the world that I live in. It doesn't, in the wintertime in most parts of Australia, except maybe if you're in the desert, it does not get cold. They think it's cold, but to us here in Canada, it's balmy. It's balmy. So, yeah, but we're looking forward to hopefully nice weather while we're in Australia and the different parts we will be getting to. Okay, so let's see. What's pissing me off this week? Well, it's not so much pissed off. I'm hoping I won't be pissed off. Let's put it that way. And I'm talking about Air Canada because that's how we're getting to Australia. We are going to, on Sunday, we fly from Toronto International Airport to Vancouver. That's about 5 hours. Okay. Then we get off the plane in Vancouver. We have about a two-hour layover, and then we get back on apparently the same plane. I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. Does that mean they don't have to take our luggage off? I don't know. They would have to take some people's luggage off because not everybody's going on to Australia. I don't know. Just keep our fingers crossed. God, I have air tags in my bags, I hope. I don't see suddenly that, we're over the middle of the Pacific Ocean and our luggage is still in Toronto or Vancouver. Okay, but anyways, 5 hours to Vancouver, 2-hour layover, and then we get back on the plane and off to Australia, and that's another 15 hours. So counting in the layover, our total trip time to get to Sydney is 22 hours. Ouch. And we do have premium economy. We paid about $2,000. Well, we paid double. If we'd taken just economy seats, it would have cost us half the price it's costing us now. So I'm anticipating the worst. First thing I figure on is that they will have screwed up our seating. And then at that point, there's not a hell of a lot you can do. Oh, if they screwed up our seating, would they move us up to business class? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay. It's my dream one day to fly first class, business class, whatever. But a lot of money. And, I could be using that money for other more important things in my life, like 3D filament and fabric and other trips. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. Now, the reason we took premium economy is because We're in a part of the cabin that has, I think Walter figured it out, about 21 seats or something like that. And where we're sitting, there is nobody ahead of us. It's a bulkhead, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. It's only two seats, his and mine. There is more leg room. There's room that you can recline your seat back further without being in the lap of the person behind you. You get premium food. In fact, we've already ordered our food for the flight to Vancouver and for the flight to Sydney. And it comes on China, supposedly, and in glasses, your wine and everything like that. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. I am not a fan of airplane food. I don't think anybody is. Um, they sound delicious, what you're getting, but I don't know. Just because, if you serve dog food out of a can, it's dog food. If you put dog food on a china plate, it's still dog food. So we'll see. So I'm not expecting fine dining, put it that way. Um, yeah, we have no place to put our bag, our carry-on bag, and we only take really tiny ones that'll fit under the seat. We're not like those people who get on the plane and they've got three bags on them, and no one seems to say anything to them. But that means we have to store them in the overhead. And we do get sort of a form of priority boarding, but not completely. So hopefully there will be room in the overhead right up over our head. Um, I don't like my stuff. Sorry, little gnat. Um, bugs. Um, I don't like being too far away from my carry-on bag because I don't trust anybody in the air or anywhere else. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I am expecting the worst, and if it's anything less than the worst, then I'll be happy. Yeah. But best to prepare yourself because Air Canada sucks. They do. They're horrible. They're horrible. But here in Canada, we only have two major carriers, Air Canada and WestJet, and they both suck. So, yeah, and they don't care. They can't do too little for you. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. That is my biggest worry about this trip, is getting there. Is just all the things. You go to the airport and it's always different. Every time we go to the airport, it's different for checking in. We will be there in plenty of time. We have a private car coming to pick us up. We've hired a service because, well, that's the other thing. To park for 3 weeks, 23 days at the Toronto airport is the cost of a first class flight. Almost. Well, not quite that bad, but you know what I mean. It is expensive. Very, very, very. I think Walter said it would cost us about $800 to park. Whereas it's costing us just slightly over $100 one way with a private car. So $200 for both of us, not each, for both of us. It's worth it. It's worth it. To be picked up at your door, to be dropped off right at the terminal for the flight, and then when we come home to be picked up right there outside the terminal again and taken right to our doorstep. It's worth the money. And it's worth the money to go in a private service as opposed to a cattle crawl. The ones around that have the little minivan or whatever, and they make 3 million stops to pick up a whole bunch of other strangers. Yeah, don't do it. I don't do it. Nope. Call me posh. Call me a snot. But nope. At this stage of my life, it's one of the little luxuries that I can afford, and I'm going to do it. So yeah. So basically, the biggest part of this whole trip, that's the biggest pain in the butt, is getting there. But eyes forward. It's only 22 hours. You'll survive. You've done it before. And they've screwed up on us before too. Yeah. So that's, I'm not saying that I don't know about screw ups, because I do. Because it's happened before. They see me coming, they go, screw him. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I'm pissed off at this week. Just, I could go on and on about the horror stories of flying, and everybody has one. If you've flown, you know. So, enough said. All right, let's talk about something more cheerful like new products. Well, yes, I bought something and I'm tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter because it's more appropriate for the Idiot Quilter. And I just have to find it here. Bear with me for a minute. I don't know what that is. It just came up on my screen, but I don't want it. Um, pictures. Okay, I must have knocked that sucker out. Okay, I'll just give me a sec. Okay, there we go. I found the picture. Just got this book yesterday from Amazon. Um, I was enabled to buy this book by Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches because she got it in one of her subscription boxes. And this is by a gentleman called Doug Lico from Antler Quilt Design. And this is about table runners. And you can see a sampling on the cover of the kind of table runners there are. And they are absolutely gorgeous. Now, I have a couple of his patterns that I've never done yet. Um, and Stephanie sort of gave a preview of the pages inside this book. And I saw some really nice blocks. And the thing about this is if you don't want to make a table runner from these blocks, you can make a full-size quilt from these as well. And Stephanie and I were talking about the possibility of doing maybe a sew along or a collab. She and I think Russ of Quilt Meets World has this book as well. So that's something down the road we need to talk about further. But it came yesterday. I haven't even opened it up yet, but I will be opening it up tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter and I'll be reviewing it then. Um, so that takes me to what's happening with our grow lights when we're away. Nothing, because we're cleaning them all out. When I say we, I mean Walter. Uh, Everything that's in those is pretty much dead now or infested with those stupid little gnats. That's what I was killing here a minute ago. Yeah, gnats. And we've tried everything to get rid of them and not had a lot of success. So, anyways, Walter's decided that, yeah, we've got a little lettuce left. We've got some tomatoes, a few tomatoes. They've gone like wild. He's just going to dump it all, clean out the pots under the lights, and when we come back, we're going to start fresh. And of course, hopefully that will eliminate our little gnat problem as well when those plants aren't there. And the reason we have the gnats is they came out of the soil, but we brought in stuff from the deck from last summer and transplanted it in there, and we brought them in with us. So they seem to love the green peppers, especially. Right now, we do have a couple of green peppers on the go, but Walter's just going to get rid of them because the gnats are there too. And we've sprayed and did all kinds of things with them, but yeah. So it's going to be all cleaned out before we leave. When we come back, we're going to start fresh with that. And then when we come back, we'll be starting to think about our container gardening on the deck too. So yeah, that's what's happening with those. And there's nothing to show you because it's the same pictures as last week. Rotting on the vine pictures, sort of. Okay, so that takes me to the 3D corner. I have a lot to talk about on the 3D corner. And I want to show you some things that I have been making here. And this is them. Let me see. Let me get my screen. Okay. So, of course, going to Australia, I had to look up Australian animals and see what I could find. And so I found a selection of kangaroos, wallabies, koalas, and a camabera, I think, or whatever they call it. These are cute. So I printed those off on the printer, and they're just sitting over in the side on a tabletop here in my sewing room, and they were just for fun. But the other things I've been making for fun, and do I have a picture of the other things I've been making for fun? I thought I took a picture. Just give me a sec. Yeah, here's the picture of what I've been making. Actually, I have a lot more of these than what you see here, but these are what they call articulated toys or animals or creations, and articulated because you can see there's pieces on, they're like little joints and they bend and do all kinds of fun things. And the beauty of these is they're called print in place. They print just exactly as you see them. There is no assembly required, nothing you need to do. You take them off the build plate when they're done and they're already all articulated and ready to move around. So I got really busy and I'm going to show you. And I showed these yesterday on the live. I have a little basket here full of my creations. So there's lots of little goodies here. And I'm just going to show you a few because I went through these extensively on the live. But this is what I'm talking about. See, he's floppy. He's articulated. He's a dragon. Yeah. They're just fun. And like I said, these are called print in place. They come right off the bed, exactly like this. Nothing else to do with them. No supports to remove from them on these ones. Some might have supports, little pieces of plastic if things are elevated a little bit off the bed. That just support it as it's being printed, but usually they're very easy to take off. But this one didn't have any of those, and it's amazing. And if you're into beluga whales, this is another type. I think a kid would have a lot of fun with these, as long as they don't eat them. How about a little gecko, whatever you call them? Again, any fun? Make lovely jewelry. Of course, you got your robots. And what else can I show you? Then there's some that are a little more chunky, possibly better for younger children. They don't move as much, but they are articulated, as you can see. Kangaroo, of course. Here's another one that's a little more chunky. Shark. Make it smaller. It's a baby shark. Yeah, we'll go through all that. How about someone who likes little planes? Okay, and the thing about these little planes is the wings go in, the wings come out. Again, no assembly required, came right off the printer exactly like this. And in fact, this one, I haven't printed yet, has a little stand. There's a hole here in the bottom. There's a little stand for it to sit on. You can make yourself a whole bunch of these as a display. Maybe somebody you know is into aviation technology, things like that. I love this one, but it's a lethal weapon. It's another dragon, but it has points, and these are sharp. Yeah, these could do some damage if you whip them across somebody's head or whatever, which could be fun. But look at that. I'm just so amazed that the printer can do these. Now, I knew a printer could do these. Any other interesting ones to show you? Oh, the octopus that you saw a picture of. This is what the octopuses look like. And hard to show them here, but see, his little tentacles all move about and whatnot. They're just fun. Oh, this one's cute. Again, for a little kid. This elephant, you can make him lay down, or his little legs, make him stand up. Okay, so these have been a lot of fun to make, and I have made a lot of them. Now, thing is, what am I going to do with them? We'll come to that in just a second, because I do have something else that I want to show you. This I just took off the printer this morning. It took most of yesterday to print. And you're going to say, well, what is it? A piece of plastic? Yes, it is. But see, look at this. What it's supposed to be, and I wouldn't use it because it's too slippery. It's supposed to fit over the armchair like this. And you can set a cup or whatever on it. I wouldn't do it. It's plastic. It's slippery. It would slide. But that's what it was designed. But I printed it out just to see if my printer's good. And they can, because this is completely, well, they also call it a sushi roller or whatever. I don't eat sushi, so, you know, they have those bamboo things that they rolled sushi in. I don't think I'd be rolling my sushi in this either. But anyways, I just want to see if my printer could print something like this. All this, no assembly, nothing. It all came off just this flexible. And you see, it's all hinged. And that's how it works. So basically, you want to put it away, you just roll it up, and there you are. So that's kind of cool. Another thing that I've been playing with, and you've seen my ruler racks before, my mini ruler racks, ones that I designed and I gave out to a few friends at Stephanie's retreat in December. Really, this is meant for your smaller rulers in quilting to sit, you know, very close out of the way, but nearby. Well, I thought I would redevelop it, and I added these little fun chameleons onto each side. And these chameleons are pencil or pen holders. So I thought that's kind of a cool design. Now, I think I want to do a little bit more fine tuning in the development of it. I want to see if I can make the hole that the pen fits in a little bit bigger. I think it needs to be a little bit wider. But I may make some of these for some of my friends. And you know who you are. And give them to them later in the year. Yeah, but really nice. And this came out very nice print. This I did on my brand new printer, and very smooth in the finish of it. And yeah, it's two colored filament I used with this. This is why when I turn it, it'll change color in the light, which this is the only kind of filament, and it comes in different color combinations. It's the only kind of filament I use now for most of my creations because I love it. So yeah, I've been a busy boy. Now, I want to talk though a little bit about 3D printing upgrades that I think now that I've done them are definitely a must-have. I just want to get something up here on my screen to show you. Now, for those of you that are into 3D printing, you may want to fast forward through this part. But for those of you that are, or you're curious about it, I did 2 upgrades to my older printers after I got the new printer. The new printer had a bed leveling system. They're often called BLT, BL Touch, or CRT, Creality Touch. I bought the Creality Touch kits, which are not that expensive, to upgrade on my older printers because the automatic bed leveling makes all the difference. On my old systems, when I had a bed level, and for those of you who don't know what I mean by bed leveling is that plate that the print is built on. And you have to level it manually, unless you have one of these CRT, Creality Touch or BLT Touch kind of things. And it's a pain in the butt, and you never get it perfect, no matter how much time you spend trying to get it, because you essentially are sticking a piece of paper under the nozzle, and it is a big job. And I've been doing it now for quite a few years with mixed results. And one of the things about it, no matter how much time I spend with it, getting those toys that I showed you, those articulated toys to print off so you can bend them and whatnot and everything, was almost an impossibility. It was hit and miss, to say the least. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. With the new printer, it works every time because it has a bed leveling system. So that's what made me want to invest in that. And they're not too difficult to install. There is some firmware upgrades you have to do to the circuit board. That's scarier than it really is. And I was able to install them. And now 2 out of 3 of my older machines have them. The reason the oldest machine doesn't is because I'd have to put in a brand new circuit board, and I don't think it's really worth it in that case of that machine. I think eventually I'll replace that machine with another one of the another printer, very much like the one I just currently bought. The other thing, though, that makes a world of difference is actually the bed itself. It has Most of these come with a type of glass, reinforced type of glass bed, which works fine. But sometimes there's adhesion problems, like your print slips off it, and not when you want it to. So usually people resort to using a washable glue stick or other methods, but washable glue stick seems to be most popular, and that's what I was using. And yeah, but that's another pain in the butt. You put down a layer of that, and then that builds up over time, and so you have to take the bed off. You've got to wash it, recondition it, put it back on, then you have to do the leveling all over again. So yeah, that's the frustrating thing about 3D printing, until I bought what I'm going to show you right here. And that is a PEI printing plate kit. This is the one for the Crealities, but they come for all printers, makes, and sizes. And basically it is magnetic. It is a flexible metal sheet. And there is a magnetic sheet that's on the bottom of it that adheres right to the main assembly that this sits on. And so it's very easy to take on and take off. But the beauty of it is it's flexible. So when you're finished your print, you just flex a little bit and your print pops right off. It's magic. And I have thought about these before, but I never invested in them. Again, they're not that expensive, as you can see here, $21 Canadian. So I have put these on all of my printers, and I do not resent a cent I spent on those or on the bed leveling kits, because now I am getting really fantastic prints. I wish I had done this way back when, but I was afraid to do these kind of upgrades. I thought I'd screw things up. Well, I didn't. But that came with experience. You've heard me say before, I can take one of these little machines and I can take them all apart and put them all back together again without any problem. And that's what I have learned over time. So my recommendation to you, if you're going to get into 3D printing, upgrade. If your system doesn't come with an automatic bed level, definitely upgrade to one that does, or buy a kit that works with the printer you have bought and install it. And there's lots of YouTube videos about how to do it as well. They do come with instructions, but usually those instructions suck. At least the ones for Creality do. Broken English, horrible, horrible instructions. It'll be worth the frustration though for you. I can tell you that right now. Better yet, buy a printer that already has that installed. And a lot of them now do have the system in there, and it is worth it. It is worth the extra money to put into that, especially when you're first starting out, because you will throw your printer out a window when you try to get it level the manual way. Trust me on that. Oh, yeah. Walter used to run and hide when I was down here trying to level a bed because the words that came out of my mouth, I was an angry person, very angry. But now I am not. So yeah, I want to share that with you, especially if you're thinking about getting a 3D printer. You know, I think eventually it's going to come to the point where 3D printers are going to be as commonplace as a toaster in everybody's house. The technology is rapidly changing, getting better every month, to the point where they're going to become like a paper printer. You know, plug and play. They're getting there. They're almost there. That new printer I bought was as close as I've ever gotten to a plug and play type printer. So yeah, it will come. You know, the next generation coming through, it'll be as common to them as an iPhone or as a cell phone. Yeah. Okay. So that takes me to, I think that's all I want to say about that. Oh, one other thing though, about the articulated toys that I've made. I'm looking for places to donate them, and I'm not having a lot of luck. So people were giving me suggestions yesterday, and I've written those suggestions down, and I'm going to explore them further when I get back from Australia. I love making them, but I don't need them. And if somebody else would get joy from them, and I would say a kid, probably, then yeah, I will make them. I will donate them. I'll make them and not charge anybody anything for them. It's a hobby. You know, it's like giving away quilts. Okay, same kind of thing, which I'm still looking for places for that because, wow, who would have thought trying to donate quilts to a worthy charity is so difficult? Trying to get hold of them, trying to get to find out what they want, what they don't want, not easy. I am finding Project Linus took me over a month to finally get contacted or to contact a person. Like, not from lack of my trying. I tried everything. Finally, I did. But, you know, leaves you a little discouraged, doesn't it? So, anyways, if you've got suggestions, now the suggestions I've had so far is to check out hospitals, fire department, police department, Children's Aid Society, foster homes, schools, libraries. I've had all those suggestions and I am going to explore them all. I've already started exploring the cop shop and the fire department, and I'm not having a lot of luck there. Nobody seems to want to contact you back, and it's hard to find even contact for it. So yeah, maybe I have to phone in and say my house is burning or I'm being robbed to get somebody's attention and go, hi, no, not really. I just want to see. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea. But yeah, who would have thought? So that will be a plan when I come back from Australia to put more time and effort into doing that. Okay, speaking of Australia, here is the fourth part of the Barossa wineries from our last trip in 2018 to Australia.
So that in the distance is the next winery we're trying. Chateau Yaldera. Cellar doors down.
Arriving at 159 Herman Thumb Drive, on the left.
Keep going for cellar door, I guess. It says. Somewhere down here. Doesn't look exciting.
No, it doesn't.
Well, maybe we need to rethink this. It looks like they're under construction or something, or no, I guess that's where their vats are. Maybe you have to go down. Maybe there's a big parking lot there, so maybe they're wanting to see something at the top there, probably. That must be their manufacturing facility. Or wait, maybe it's right here. Well, that looks a little bit better. So this chateau looks a little bit more impressive.
Good morning, Lady Darrell. One room existing. Yeah, I'll try to be creative as not a manufacturing.
You want to try something? So we bought 2 bottles here, 1 bottle of white, and then we bought a bottle of red, but it's a Grenache, and I had never heard of Grenache before. So we tried it. It's kind of a light tasting, sipping red kind of a wine. And apparently this place, it's pure Grenache. Other place you'll see it, they said is GSM, which is a blend of that with a couple of other grapes. And so we got that. So now we have 6 bottles of wine, and that's plenty right now, since it'll be enough to take with us to Adelaide, that which we don't drink before Adelaide. But of course we can't fly to Perth with any of this stuff, and we can't fly home with any of it, so you know.
Well, yes, you can.
Well, we could, but we're not doing that.
No.
With it all. So now we're going to go and look at what some of the other wineries look at. We're not going to really taste the wines because we've had enough tasting of it. I've done the tasting anyways. Well, Walter's had a little snort, but
I've just had a little tiny taste in my mouth because I don't want.
Well, no, you're driving.
Yeah, I don't want to start driving on the right-hand side.
Well, no, and I'd rather you didn't either. I only had a little taste on each one too. I didn't even bother to finish what they gave us. I just took a sip just to see. So now Walter's looking for ones in this.
I saw this other one that I saw. I don't know where I saw it, but it's Yalumba, and I just want to see where it is.
The lumba.
And then I wouldn't mind going to Wolf Blast because we can get some of the Wolf Blast
yeah.
out, and I just want to see what it looks like there.
Yeah, now we're picking the wineries by what they look like outside. Can tell we're fine connoisseurs of wines, right? So anyways, we will continue the adventure in wine country. Okay. Here we have a monkey crossing. Right there, see? I don't know why. To me, it looks like a couple of monkeys. Well, here we are, but we don't know where we are because we have no idea what this is all about. But this will make it a surprise, and we're exploring. It looks like there's a restaurant. Looks like they have cooking classes. Gin classes? Gin classes? Do they mean gin as in the drink, or do they mean gin as in card game? Gin. Maggie's Products.
Nature Shop.
The Eater, Cooking School, Farm Walk, Pleasant Farm.
Peter Bros.
Okay. To me, it looks more like a restaurant. In cooking school. So I don't know what this is. So it looks like they have dips and things, gourmet stuff, jam. Quince paste. What is that one? Is that quince?
Cabernet paste.
Cabernet paste.
Interesting. It's like an apple.
Yeah. No, double dip. It says not to do that. New spoon each tasting. No double dipping, Walter.
No, I'm doing that on the other side.
Yeah, okay. That was the fig. It's kind of nice.
How much is it?
For quite stock is $7.99. There you can get for $25 you can get The problem is we can't take that home.
Why not?
It's food. Yeah. Well, is it worth it? I mean, it's not unlike we have stuff like this in our own country, all kinds of it, so.
Food markets and some of it, especially last spring. Oh, yeah. The one before.
Well, that was an interesting little spot. They had a lot of gourmet sauces and dressings and relishes and things, and had an interesting looking restaurant. Although I don't know, we didn't really see anything on the menu that was
In
really to our
600
liking.
meters, turn right on Samuel Road.
But we tried some of their sauces and stuff, and they were kind of tasty. The only problem is we can't really lug that stuff back home with us. And we actually have a lot of that kind of thing. I mean, it's not Maggie's, but we have the equivalent in different ones as well, and sauces and relishes and things too that, are good as well. But it was an interesting little spot. I can see why people want to go there for lunch, and they hold cooking classes and things like that. So if we lived here, it would be, I think, quite enjoyable.
And that takes me to events in the past week. Well, we had a pop-up sew day on Saturday. Had a lot of people there. It was great to see them. Good discussions about things. At times there was so much going on, it was hard to keep up. And but people were also working on things, and so it was a great day. Now, there's not going to be another pop-up sew day for a while because, of course, again, Australia. You're probably sick and tired of hearing me talk about Australia. Too bad. But anyways, there will be another pop-up sew day, but not until probably the second half of May, because I have my Idiot Quilter retreat happening about 2 weeks after we get back from Australia. So yeah, that's May the 4th. And as I said, there's a video that's up at 9 o'clock Monday morning today for you to check out for that. So yeah, I'll be concentrating on that. And then after the hubbub of that retreat is all done and everything, and things settled back down into, the usual routine, we'll have another pop-up sew day. We had the social review. That's where the Fab Five, Stephanie, Shannon, Russ, Walter, and myself get together once a month and talk about whatever. And this month's topic we did about organization, how we organize things, how we organize our day, how we organize our supplies, how we organize our sewing rooms, all that kind of stuff, store our fabric. So if you weren't able to join the live, it is on replay, and it's on Russ's channel, and that is Quilt Meets World. And I have a link to Russ's channel in my show notes, so you can find that and check it out. So the next one will be on the second Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time in April. We may be there, may not be there, but if we're there, we're coming to you from Australia, because we'll still be in Australia at the time. But of course, Shannon, Stephanie, and Russ will be there holding down the fort. And I think this time it's Shannon's turn to be the hostess with the mostest with it, and I have no idea what the topic is yet. She has not revealed it. So that's something to look forward to. And as I said, we'll try to make a cameo appearance if we can. Okay, so let's see what else is coming up. Oh, yeah, here's something. Just a curiosity. Walter was doing a search for whatever reason, I don't know what, on YouTube, and he came up with another Bland Designs. Now, I call my YouTube channel, in fact, when I first started a YouTube channel back in 2012, it was Bland Designs, because at that point in time, I was a paper crafter. I wasn't a quilter yet. And then it has grown into, with the Idiot Quilter, so now it's listed as Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter. Well, guess what? There's another Bland Designs. It's actually Bland Design, and it's Bland_design. Didn't know it existed. And yes, the person who runs that YouTube channel, his last name is Bland, like mine, but his first name is Daniel. Are we related? Don't know. He's in England. However, my family, way back, came from England. And at one point in time, I did do genealogy, but I had a real struggle finding much out about my English connection. So I wrote to him. I don't know if I'll get an answer or not. I checked out his YouTube channel, and I've got a link for his YouTube channel below. And you can check it out too. He's an artist, but he does wallpaper and murals. And he does a lot of stuff with gold gilding, that kind of thing as well. His stuff is really quite amazing. In fact, it reminds me very much of the William Morrison style of things. He's considerably younger. I'm not sure what his age is, but by the looks, like seeing him in his videos, I would say he's a lot younger than me. But I did write to him and said who I was and the whole bit. Now he probably thinks it's a scam, so he may never answer me. But, out of curiosity, you never know. Maybe we are related. But whatever. So there's another Bland Design. It's Bland Design, not Bland Designs. So when I was watching his videos, and he does a lot of shorts, he had a short where you'll never get guess at this. He's gold gilding a large gnome. What are the odds? His last name's the same as my last name. I like gnomes. He seems to like gnomes. So I'm going to put in a clip of that video that he has up on his channel to let you see what I'm talking about. So if you're curious, you might want to check him out. And I put a link to his YouTube channel in the show notes as well. What a coincidence, eh? Okay, so anything else coming up? Let's see. Well, you know about Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen on Wednesday. We know about the video that talks about the idiot quilter and spring retreat. And yeah, I think that's about it. So this week's schedule for videos. You had this one. Tomorrow you'll have the Idiot Quilter, and on Friday there will be a So Chatty. And So Chatty this week, in continuing our series of machine embroidery, about machine embroidery, will be about using the editing screen on your embroidery machine, because you can do a lot with that. And all embroidery machines come with this kind of thing. So we're going to talk about that on Friday. Will there be a Stephen and Walter live this week? No. We will be on our way to Australia during that time when we usually have it. But as I said, there will be things from Australia, Stephen and Walter on location, kind of a thing. So make sure you've got your notification bell turned on and subscribe to the channel so you'll get notifications when we do those kind of things. Okay, so that's it for me this week. Got to get packed, got to get things organized, ready for the trip. And I hope you have a productive week, and I hope you have a good week. And we'll see you later. Bye for now.